A live is not just 30 minutes. A live should have like 2 hours of a prepared message outline, really doing an analysis of what they want, what they need. If I ask you, how many hours would you prepare for a TED Talk? That's how serious initially your LinkedIn lives need to be taken. Hello, everyone. In today's live, what I'm going to do is cover a few of the marketing strategies that we will be focusing on in 2024 and that I think would be beneficial for most of the entrepreneurs and business owners, coaches, and consultants who follow me, especially if you follow me on LinkedIn. If you don't know who I am and you're coming across this video for the first time, my name is Shanee Moret and I have about 1 million followers on LinkedIn. I'm the founder of Growth Academy, where we help business owners grow their personal brands, specifically on LinkedIn first. Before curating any type of strategy, it's really how you think. So what will give you the most advantage is how you think. When you're looking at what you can achieve with the experiences, the people, the resources, the connections, the money, whatever, the time that you have, one of the things that you should look at is, where do you have the most leverage? And by now, most of your competitors on all social media platforms, maybe even including LinkedIn, they're probably creating at least some type of content, be it text content, images with quotes, polls, even maybe some short form video content. To go against some of your competitors, you better be good at content. That's number one. And most of us may know what we're doing in terms of our particular skill, but maybe not in terms of content. So when I look at the stage in 2024, if you're an expert in what it is that you do, but let's say that you don't have a lot of time, or let's say that you don't have an entire marketing team to outsource your efforts to, and you're a one-man show or a three-man show, a three-woman show, whatever. One of the greatest leverage points is going live, because it will allow you to create multiple pieces of content, maybe within 15 to 20 minutes. So not only will you be able to potentially create a list of people interested in the topic that you're going to share through events on LinkedIn, even before you go live, but during the live, you could share valuable information with your audience, number one. And number two, you could answer their questions and learn kind of what the sense is of your audience. What do they need? What are the recurring questions? How can you help actually live? That's number two. Number three, a lot of your competitors are probably not doing it and not doing it well. So if you somehow know what you're talking about, even just a little bit, and you're at least willing to show up on camera, then one of the greatest leverage points in 2024, I'd say, is to go live. One of the greatest places to go live is actually LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has the live events feature. So you can invite 1,000 people per week to your live event for free. If you have 2,000 connections, that means that you could have one live video event a month and invite 2,000 people. If you have 4,000, you can invite 4,000 people. If you have 8,000, you can invite 4,000 people. So as long as you grow to that 4,000 connection point, I think that's very, very powerful, because where else could you for free invite 4,000 people to a live event? The other part of live is what happens after the live. If it goes on for 15 minutes, can be repurposed, can be posted as a YouTube video that can generate thousands of views and more leads, can be repurposed into newsletters, can be repurposed into short videos. So the leverage point of going live, because so few of your competitors actually do it well, I think is something to not be ignored. Okay, this is a good question or statement. Before I started my business, I was a full-time live streamer. So what's holding me back from showing up on LinkedIn is not knowing what to go live for/about. If you don't have clients, then it's a little bit harder. Then maybe you could go live and share your story, and from there could be questions. If you already have clients, then it should be pretty easy, because you could compile maybe a list of the 10 most asked questions by your clients and your prospects, and then literally just go live and answer them. That's the thing. If you don't have any clients, then you just can show up. And sometimes it's just okay to be honest. I feel like people aren't honest enough. So let's say I was brand new. I could show up live and I could invite people and I could choose a generic topic, like let's say Q&A about business or Q&A about how I did this, that, and the other. And in the beginning of the live, I could say, this is my first time ever being live. I appreciate your support. I don't really know what my audience wants to learn. So I'm here to learn from you. Put your questions in the comments. I'll wait for the first question. And you could just sit there, or you could promote it in advance and gather questions from the audience. And even if it's just the first 3 questions that you get in DMs or in your comments or whatever on other social media platforms, then you could take those questions and answer it. And nobody's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna look down on that person because it's their first live. It's actually the contrary. I don't know what to talk about as a young individual and what type of discussion to have. What I would do, I know you have your boutique, and I would maybe share the journey. How do you pick the clothes? What type of clothes and boutique vibe are you going for? Maybe ask the audience what they would like for you to order. You could show some of your best-selling pieces. I mean, you can make it pretty fun because you could actually bring physical clothing onto the live. And share, how do you even find these clothes? What are the troubles maybe with shipping? When are you having your grand opening? Do you have a physical location? Do you not? Just start answering all those questions on a live. Yeah, it's okay to talk about technology on a live. It depends on your audience. So one of my business partners, Sean Carr, he is heavy into tech. And his audience loves technology. So if he would go live and do the Apple Vision Pro and all of that, or just any type of new technology that he has in his office, how he hooks up his monitors, his lights, then his audience would probably love it. So it's really what you share is audience dependent, right? It's always about the people. And sometimes you have to experiment with what you share to see what the people's response is overall. Do different styles, different topics. And that's the other thing. When you get out there, you're not going to be for everybody. And that's actually a good thing, because the people that align with your personality, your vibe, your energy, your morals, your values are going to be attracted to you. And people that don't can go elsewhere. And that's actually good, because it's better for them to decide then versus not really knowing who you are and then booking a consultation with you. Now their time is wasted, your time is wasted, and you still don't jive. Or maybe even worse, them becoming a client. And now you both have to work together for a certain period of time and you don't jive. The greatest power of personal branding for me is that you do attract people that you can actually thoroughly enjoy working with, that your personalities vibe, and that the energy aligns. We have a podcast that we want to promote. We have over 16,000 listens, but want to take it to the next level. It is a true crime podcast. One of the things that some of our clients come to us with is they either have established podcasts or YouTube channels. And what they'll do is they'll actually grow on LinkedIn to take a percentage of the LinkedIn audience and then transfer it to the podcast or the YouTube channel. And it could work brilliantly, especially through lives where you could see surges of the crossover, or can have people join an email list and then crossover, or through LinkedIn newsletters where the same thing could happen. So we have one client in particular, she has 33,000 connections on LinkedIn, and she's growing massively on YouTube. She'll be almost at 100,000 subs by the end of the month. And all she's doing is when she goes live on LinkedIn or writes in her LinkedIn newsletter, is just crossing over to her YouTube channel to fuel that machine. So it could definitely work. I do marketing for a staffing company. Aside from doing lives at career fairs, when else would you recommend doing a live? Okay, so this is a great question. I would test a couple of days and times. When you approach marketing, everything should really be like a test and to not take it personally. So if you go live on a Monday and you choose a certain topic and it flops, it may be that you went live on a Monday, or it may be the topic. So testing maybe the same topic on a Wednesday evening, maybe you could do really well. Maybe it was just that Monday because it was a holiday. So I would maybe do 4 lives. It doesn't have to be every week, but maybe every other week, and then test maybe similar topics, but around different days and times, and see which one performs best. Personally, my audience likes me live in the morning, but I know some other thought leaders, influencers on LinkedIn that their audience likes them live at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. So again, it really depends on your audience. Okay, this is a great question. Is going live the best option for gaining followers? No, it's not. Not in my experience and not in the experience of my clients. So if someone comes to me and says that their only goal is to become an influencer on LinkedIn, grow their followers to 100,000 in a year, and just go all in, someone like that would have to go really heavy on feed content. By feed content, I mean written content, images, polls, carousels, short form video. Someone that wants to monetize should then focus on lives and newsletters. But the growth will really happen on the feed side. The monetization will happen on number one, what's your call to action? Is this something that your audience is interested in? And then lives, and then newsletters. And then if you just want to build community, it would also be lives. Now, somebody that is coming to me with, let's say, 200 or 500 followers on LinkedIn, they really need to do both, because for them to even utilize all of the tools that could help them monetize with the least resistance, I need to get them to 4,000 connections. To get them to 4,000 connections, they have to grow. To grow, they need to post feed content. Someone coming to me with 17,000 followers who left their corporate job and now has their own business and just needs to monetize, they wouldn't have to focus on feed content as much as the newsletters or the lives. How do you take advantage of newsletters that go viral, thinking about how to leverage? Did it go viral aligned with your goal on LinkedIn? Because if it didn't, let's say someone's goal is to get clients and something went viral. If it didn't serve that goal, I don't want to say it doesn't count, but I want to look at the post that's getting the clients, if that's the goal. If your goal is growth, then it could be repurposed. Maybe you do more of that topic, or maybe you turn that newsletter into a live. But if it went viral and didn't fuel your goal, then what you're doing is repurposing something that doesn't fuel your goal. And just know that going into it. So what do you think about putting a call to action at the end of every post, or should it be for only about 20% of posts? You can put it on every post, but you don't need to. If you do a couple lives a month, and if your newsletters, if the messaging is right, then you should be getting bookings. If you're not, if you keep putting out a ton of newsletters, or if you keep going live and it's not moving the needle, then there's a messaging problem. The audience isn't resonating or trusting you to solve that problem, or maybe doesn't know exactly what will happen when they reach out to the consultation. Job posts, press releases, testimonials is what I typically put out. I spend so much time putting these things out there almost daily, but the few likes I receive on posts makes me feel defeated. Just think of it this way. If I gave you 30 days and I said, go post every day for 30 days, and every single post on average, there was 1 or 2 likes, there should be within those 30 days, like 3 to 4 posts that get maybe 9 likes or 10 likes. And then it's doing an analysis. What about those posts got 10 times the engagement? It's consistently doubling down on what's working the most versus just doing the same thing over and over again. If in that month there is no outlier, then that's a weird situation. Then that means that, again, it's a messaging problem. The content's not resonating, the style's not resonating, and we have to be almost like a social media doctor and diagnose why. Is it that you're using stock images? Do they not believe it? Are the competitors just producing like 10 times better content? There's just so many variables that have to be looked at. How has doing live sessions helped you attract clients? Doing lives is probably the number one thing you can do on LinkedIn to convert. And not just for myself, but for my clients. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going live and you're spending 20, 30 minutes and nobody's pulling the trigger, it's not moving the needle, then it's a messaging problem. Because if you were saying the right things or speaking to the right problems, it should at least spark that curiosity for them to get on a call with you. I have to launch my newsletters this month about career tips. I go live 4 times a month. So if you go live 4 times a month and at least one of those lives is not bringing you inbound clients that are higher ticket, then there's a messaging problem, because that's a lot of time and energy. A live is not just 30 minutes. A live should have like 2 hours of a prepared message outline, really doing an analysis of what they want, what they need. If I ask you, how many hours would you prepare for a TED Talk? That's how serious initially your LinkedIn lives need to be taken. Doing the research and the preparation and being prepared for almost being on a stage to prove your expertise. If your expertise is not proven within those 20 minutes, then we've missed a huge opportunity for conversion. I hope this has been helpful. I wanted to do just a Q&A style. It's been great. So if you have any more questions, just message me. If you want a consultation, message me. If you're doing all the things on LinkedIn and it just isn't leading to where you thought, I'd love to see if we could help you. God bless you and have a great day. Ciao.